Teen-centric.
Teen-centric.
You're listening to Teen-centric.
Teen-centric.
KPPQ, LP Ventura, 104.1 FM.
Hello, this is your host for Teen-centric, Craig Rosen. I'll be speaking with two different individuals, both of whom I interviewed inside of the Juvenile Justice Center in Oxnard. One young man, one young woman. The young man who's heavily involved with gang life, and you'll hear a real perspective, what he witnessed as a child. Before people make judgment on young people who get caught up in gang life, it's important to know that to a person, they have all seen violence and crime happen starting at a young age.
Concrete walls ain't no way to live. I'm in the hall while I hit the pen. Well, God forgive me for all my sins. I don't know what I will never been. Stay by my lonely, I'm my only friend. Hard-headed, but I got some sense. In the streets, I probably end up dead. But I'm not F it, I ride to the end. Trust a soul, never again. I'll leave you leaking like a broken pan. Put you to sleep, but not in your bed. Don't let these fakes get on in your head. Listen close to the words I said. A lot of crimes that I don't regret. I don't forgive, but I do forget. I don't forgive, but I do forget. I've been in the game since I was like 11 years old. Like, that's when I truly started gangbanging. And like, I've seen a lot of stuff, done a lot of stuff where I see different, you know, like, I'm still young. How young? I'm young. I got here when I was 17, and I've been through some stuff, done some stuff, you know, but it makes me see different. Like, I do want better for myself. I do want better for my family, you know, like, in this game, it's cold, you know, this game is cold as hell, like,
well, it can be permanent.
Yeah, it's like cold, you know, like,
yeah.
There's no showing love. Your homies will not show love for you when you're busted or when you're gone, like, you know, they're not gonna.
Well, see, now that is an interesting thing, because I hear, and I see it in a lot of the writing, where it's like, then I know who people's true colors.
Yeah.
I didn't get no visits. I didn't hear from the homies when I was locked up.
Yeah.
Well, then why is that person going right back to it?
Because they're probably like, because they probably forget about all that once you're out there. Because once you're in here, it's like, it's a different thing, like, you know, but once you're out there, you're like, it's different.
You just get swept right back.
You just get swept right back into it. Now, baby. Now, baby. Now, baby. Now, baby, will you ride for me? Will you ride for me? If we ever get caught, will you do the time with me? Baby, we could smoke and you could sit my drink with me. And don't worry about my homies, cause you know they stay with me. Stay with me, yeah, I got you up at night. Probably up in cold sweat. Probably got you stressing cause you know that I ain't home yet. Don't even trip, girl, you know I'm in my zone. And I know I got you wet by the smell of my cologne.
Because one of the conversations I frequently have in here is the idea of, like, can you ever see another way? You know?
Yeah.
And some people are like, no, man, this is it. Then again, you're like a thinking person. You're a feeling person.
Yeah.
You know? So it must cross your mind sometimes, right?
Yeah, it does.
I bet.
Yeah.
So what are those thoughts like?
Those thoughts are like, when I get out, I know damn well I tell my mom, like, or I have like two homies, they're like 24, both one's like 21, one's 24, and I tell them, like, how is it out there? Like, nothing's changing, it's the same cold streets, like, say, like,
yeah.
The game's pointless.
Right.
At the end of the day, like, say if you choose to gang, like, me, I'm from Colonia, so like, say if I chose to gangbang and I chose to smoke, to shoot a guy from El Rio, like an El Rio boy, and I get caught for it, I get charged for murder or manslaughter or whatever, I end up going upstate to prison. I'm gonna have to get along with my rivals that I put all that effort into gangbanging just so I could be bunked up with them probably and get along with them. You get what I'm saying?
It doesn't even make sense.
So what's the point of gangbanging?
Right.
That's how I see it. Like,
There's a perspective.
like, if you choose to gangbang and you say, I'm from the east side, you choose to shoot a south sider, you kill him or you hit him, you get caught for attempted murder, you're gonna probably be bunked up with one of his homies, or you're gonna probably be friends with one of his homies, and you guys are gonna have no choice but to get along and have each other's back, and you guys are gonna probably end up being close friends more than you are with your own homies from your hood, you know?
Now, you know what's interesting about that perspective that you're offering is that you're suddenly no longer in your hood.
Yeah.
Now you're upstate, you're outside of the hood, but the minute it's outside of the hood,
Yeah.
all these rivalries go away.
Yeah.
Whether it's locked up outside of the hood or if you went to another state and just carried on a different life, right?
When you come back out to it, it's like you say, people get swept right into it, like back into it. Like they don't see the bigger picture. Like they just think that gangbanging is like gangster. That ain't gangster. Gangster's like taking care of your family, doing what's right, you know, taking care of your mom.
What do you think one of the biggest misconceptions that somebody who doesn't know much about the life, somebody who doesn't know about like what you guys go through, when they see you or they hear about somebody locked up or they hear about somebody in a gang, what do you think one of the just biggest misconceptions is?
They can't relate to it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know what we're talking about. I don't think they just basically can't understand it. Like if they never been there or done that, I think that they'll have a hard time understanding it or like, you know,
Yeah.
like what are you talking about? I don't know people's stories, but usually people choose to gangbang because they've been through stuff in life. You get me? Or they were lost, or that's all they knew. And like, say like if your mom's been through some stuff and you choose to gangbang, you're just putting more stress on top of her shoulders. Like my mom would always tell me like, I never know if I'm gonna get a call that, oh, your son's in jail for this, or this, or if your son, he's gone, I need you to come identify the body, like, you know?
Yeah, you have to worry about that.
Yeah, my mom would worry about that and my sister would worry about that. I'd call my sister and she'll be crying on the phone. Like, she'll be crying on the phone talking to me. Like, you never know how it felt. Like, I would every day go to sleep, have nightmares about you dying, and I was afraid to get that phone call. And I never knew I was putting my sister through that, you get me? So, like...
Until she told you?
Yeah, she told me that over the phone, over the payphone, crying. So, like, what kind of man? I'm 18 now, you know, it was cool. I've been at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. For 7 years, I've been in the streets, you know, and I've been through stuff growing up in life. I didn't have a good childhood, you could say, but it was honestly my choice the way I went about it, you get me? It was my choice the way I went about going through life, and I chose the easy way out. It's harder to put effort into it. So, like, that's what people don't see, you know? That's like, that's how you know people are not ready to mature, you know? Like, if you've been gangbanging for a long time, you're gonna see stuff different, and you're gonna know, like, okay, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop putting my mom through this. Like, you know, does your mom really deserve it? Like, I could see, like, if you have nothing to lose, like, okay, you know, that's not really an excuse still, but if people don't, like me, I'm doing this mainly for myself, you know, like, for myself. Like, I'm choosing to do what's right. Like, I'm choosing to graduate from school. I'm choosing to get a job and show my little brother what's right. I got a little brother. He grew up without a dad just like I did, you know, like.
Right.
Like, I've been through some stuff growing up in life. Like, I see my sister get raped in front of me, like, by my little brother's dad. Like, I seen him rape my sister in front of me. I was like 5, 6 years old. Like, did I ask for that? No, I didn't ask for that. I did not ask for that, you know?
Yeah, you did not.
I didn't, but God chose to put me through this for a reason. Like, there's a saying that He gives his strongest battles to His strongest soldiers or something like that. So, like, I took that into consideration when I started getting a close bond with God. Like, okay, you know, my mom is just hurt as much as I am, you know. Like, who am I to put more stuff on her shoulders? Like, that would be like a coward of me, like a loser, basically. And I've been a loser for like 7 years, not doing anything with my life. Just in the streets, getting busted, smoking, popping pills, drinking, not coming home at night, not checking in with my mom, like, you know. At the end of the day, I never saw that until I came in here, like.
So you making some plans now?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I gotta do what's right. I want my mom to, like, my mom, I love my mom to death, you know. My mom, she's been through her road when she was like a little drug addict too, you know, but she's clean now, she's sober. And the stuff that she did when I was young, it hurt me, don't get me wrong, it hurt me, but do I blame her? Nah. Mm-hmm. Everyone falls in life, you know, but it's your choice if you're gonna, like, drop niggas down and, like, okay, I'm done, I give up, or if you're just gonna keep fighting, you're just gonna keep pushing through, you know. And she's done that. My mom raised 3 kids by herself. We all grew up. Well, my sister had a dad. Me and my little brother did it. But she raised 3 kids on her own. Like, you know, since she was young, like young as hell. So, like, I appreciate my mom for that, you know. And I just, every day I think, like, I just tell her on the phone, like, Mom, just know I love you, you know. Like, I love you, Mom. Like, you know, like, I never even told her that before, like, when I was out or like I never even had time because I was always in the streets, like a routine, just being in the streets. But I need to make place to do what's right for myself and mainly for my family, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the man of the house right now. It's just me, my mom, and my brother. Us three living together. Like, who would I be to be 18 still in the streets running amok? Like, it won't make sense to me. And I've done it before. I've been there, done that, you know? Like you know?
You already know where that leads. But
Yeah, I
then,
already know where that
if you're
leads.
still in the same hood, how can you stay away from it? Because you know,
Don't get me
your own
wrong.
homie's going to come at you.
Yeah, my own homies will come at me. Don't get me wrong. I love my hood. Don't get me wrong. Like, I do love my hood. Like, I love my neighborhood. But no homies that I know now are youngsters, you get me? I just know older people that will tell me, okay, you've been there, done that, now you need to do what's right. You need to chase your paper and you need to stand up for your family, you know? I don't have no younger homies like that are even my age. I don't even have homies that are 18. I have homies that are like 36, 28, 24, like that, been there and done that, you know? Yeah, OGs basically. So like, I know, like, don't get me wrong, like, I still love my hood, like I do, you know? But like, at the end of the day, none of this is worth it. And I don't care what anyone has to say. I'm gonna stay away from the hood. I live in the hood, but I'm gonna stay away from that. I ain't gonna go out in the streets no more. Like, you know, like I live in the hood. Don't get me wrong, like, you know, but I'm not gonna go out like how I would. Like, okay, let me go walk around the streets, risk my life. Like, hell no. Like, yeah.
So you're gonna try to get some work and just do it right.
Do what's right. Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then any kind of schooling, you feel that?
Yeah, I go back to school. I go back to school as senior.
You said you got your little brother at home?
Yeah, I got my little brother at home.
How old is he?
He's 11.
Okay.
Gonna be 12.
Just when you started.
Exactly.
And you got to show him another way.
Exactly. I remember I look at him and he's nothing compared to me like how I was. Like, I was already a mess at 11, you know, like.
So he ain't trying to go there.
How not? He's not trying to go there. He told me that scares him, that type of stuff scares him. But he's into sports now. He's talented at sports. He's good at. He played soccer, but he don't really like soccer playing that much. He's good, but he plays baseball, basketball, and football.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That's
soccer.
Good.
He
Sports
plays.
will help you.
Yeah, he's athletic. Like, he's like blessed with that. Like, that'll be his ticket out the hood. Like, you know, there's like people that come out the hood, like due to scholarships or just they choose to break that cycle. That's my little brother. I know my little brother's gonna break that cycle, and I'm gonna push him to the end because he's saw what he put me through. Like, I'm sure damn well he doesn't want to go through that, and I'll be damn well like if I let him take that path, because it's not gonna happen, you know. As long as I'm alive, it ain't gonna happen.
Good for you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's my little brother.
I met some people that try to organize murals in Colonia.
Yeah.
Our town, our children, they call themselves, but I think they've been like even given a space inside one of the buildings, and they try to like organize art classes for young people and get some murals. But you might keep an eye out.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a husband and wife team. They're good people.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
Good
They're doing murals?
Yeah.
Where at?
Just,
you know what street at? Like,
I don't know where, but
It's in
there's
Colonia?
a few. Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
Colonia.
all right.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll probably run into it eventually.
Yeah, you probably will. Yeah. And then how have you enjoyed doing some of this writing, man?
I enjoyed it, but I think like if I put my mind to it, like if I sit in my room, or like say I know if I'm in my room like outside of here, I know I could write some serious stuff down, but in here like I don't know what is it, just my mind races, you know, like I just want to be, you know, like, you know, like still like a mama's boy, like I just want my mom in my arms, you know, like I feel all the guilt that I put her through, and it's like, damn, I'm like, you know, like I got a serious charge, like, you know, but I'm blessed to have a release date. There's some people that weren't not going home for a while. They're going home, but not for a while, you know. I still get to go out and I still get to see my mom, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, you get another chance.
I get another chance, basically.
Yeah.
And the balls in my court is, so
Right.
like, I just want to do what's right finally, you know, like I said, like tired of being a loser,
Yeah.
like making a mess out of everything. Hell no, like, I'm straight off that already. Yeah.
You think it's even possible to reach some of the young homies who are still just like really thick in the game? Like now that you've seen some things. That,
I could. Don't get me wrong. I would love to tell them. I would love to talk to them, but it's either them. It's them who need to do that part. You know, like I could only do so much. I can't. Like no one in life is gonna guide you by the hand. Like, okay, do this. You know, it's up to you if you really want change, and if you're not ready for change, it's like you're not ready. You know, I don't blame you. I don't blame people because I was in that same state. You know, but I would love to do it. I would love to like. Even to young kids that are like barely going in, I would talk to them to make them see stuff different. And if they don't see it that way, and if they don't want to grasp what I'm telling them, like, you know, I can't do anything about it. Like I said, everyone's gonna get on their own timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is. Well, yeah, sometimes the best thing you can do is just set an example, right?
Yeah, set an
Like,
example,
You change,
you know?
and then you're cool
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
People see that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wish you the best of luck too.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you.
You know,
Appreciate that.
definitely. Thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, no worries.
So that concludes the first interview. I have had the opportunity to see this young man on 2 occasions since he was released, and both of the times he was meeting with his probation officer. I get the sense that, as you heard in his interview, he really does want to turn his life around, and he is staying in school, and he is staying clean, and so I'm hopeful for him. In many instances, I see the same kids, when they get released, come right back into the halls. And in other instances, when they age out, I hear about them ending up in county jail and in some of the prisons. And that's probably the most common story, and it's very sad. However, we remain hopeful that by trying to positively impact the lives of these young people, some of them will find their way. And I'm hopeful that this young man may be one of those people. My next guest is a young woman who, as you will hear from her interview, has Native roots, and she's going to recite one of her poems. We put some music behind it that has indigenous flavor. She also will talk about how she pretty much grew up in juvenile hall. She is changing her perspective on what might happen for her in the future, and she too, I think, is a hopeful story, and I'll let her take it from here.
Yes, I'm Native and I'm proud. Santi Oyate, I say it just like my ancestors. They took me away. Just like my ancestors, they stole my clothes. Just like my ancestors, the Wanshushu gave me a uniform. Just like my ancestors, they tell me what I can and cannot do. Just like my ancestors, they try to make me unhappy. But to them I say, O washa wakatanka washte.
All right. So the title of that poem.
Santi Oyate, Dakota.
That's the tribe.
Yeah, Santi Oyate, Dakota.
Okay.
Winniwakitin.
Uh-huh. And some of the language in there is Santee Sioux language?
Yeah, this is
And
1, 2, 3, 4 words.
Yeah, can you translate it?
Washishu means white man. And then Owasha Wakatanka Washte, that means God is good. Like, I'm going to be okay.
All right. Watched over? Would you say you feel a good connection to your native roots?
Yeah, I used to be a dancer. My brother's a dancer too.
Oh, wow.
One of my brothers. He's a
Traditional
grass
dance?
dancer.
Grass dancer.
Yeah. So he's
Must
one
be
of the
cool.
first ones that goes out and smooths the grass out.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm a fancy shawl.
You do fancy shawl?
And my little sister, she's a jingle dress.
Wow. When was the last time you were able to do some of that?
And I was 12.
When you were 12? Okay. And where does this part of your family live?
My mom's side.
It's your mother's side?
Yeah. My mom's full blood.
She's full blood?
She's full.
Wow. And is she from Dakota?
She's from Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
City. All right. Well, how did it feel writing that? Was that like the first time you kind of threw down in some native language a little bit?
Yeah, because I thought about it and I was like, well, I know like from the past that they took my ancestors away, and I was just figured, well, they took me away.
Yeah, and the language too is something that gets taken away from native people.
Yeah.
So it's really good to bring.
So we
it
have
back.
to bring it. That's what my grandma
Yes.
tells me.
Yes.
Have to
that's
keep it
awesome.
alive.
Right. So that's why I wanted to publish your poem in the book. One of the reasons. I mean, I like the
Yeah.
poem, but it's also cool that you put some
Native
language in there. Definitely.
You inspired me, Craig.
Well, good. You inspire me. For real. What else have you got there that you'd like to share?
I got my brother's poem,
Okay.
and I think it relates to now because I knew this was going to happen soon. And it says, why? My savior left, a bullet hit my heart, striking shots, nightly thoughts, asking questions, getting no response. My brother's gone. He left. Nobody told me.
What happened?
Well, My brother was on drugs a lot, and my brother sent him away to go to Sioux City, into our reservation. But he found drugs out there, and now he's going to prison.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think
Yeah.
and no one told me.
No one told-
No
How
one
did you
told
find
me.
out?
My cousin accidentally told me.
Oh, accidentally, like they all said they didn't want to tell you?
No one wanted to tell me because they worry for me. They know I'm so close to him, and they don't want me to think about him.
Oh, and like that it could trigger you and stuff?
Yeah, to make me
Yeah.
mess up, but it doesn't.
Oh, because you have a real connection to him, right? So it's like important for you to know the news, even if it's
Yeah.
painful. Yeah. When was the last time you saw him?
About a year ago.
Mm-hmm. So you were both living here in
Yeah.
805?
Now he's over there in Iowa, and he's gonna go to, I don't know what prison, but he's gonna do 5 years.
I see you have a few more poems today.
I call it walking pain with no trace, not showing the pain inside me. I wake up every day saying everything's gonna be okay. With the numb face, a walking sobbing soul with no trace. That one's like, cause everyone always says I always have a good head on my shoulder, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't know, like, I'm really sad inside, you know,
What's really going on?
like what really is on, like,
Yeah.
behind my face.
Yeah.
But I just, yeah.
You know,
But I tell myself that everything's gonna be okay. That's how I live.
why do you feel like you hide it?
Cause I don't wanna. I think cause I get so used to it, to
Mm.
hiding stuff, that we all do it,
Yeah, it's just
and
become
I think
a way.
we're walking sobbing souls
Oh, yeah. What
with
am I
no
saying?
trace.
Well, you're gonna have a trace in this book. Your art leaves a trace.
Yeah.
People see your art. Your art is good. Do you like making art?
Yeah.
You feel like it helps?
Yeah.
And you have a poem you'd like to share that you wrote about your mom.
This one is it's called Parts of Me. In many attempts to get away, I always find myself back to this place with no trace. Sometimes I forget the world could be someone you hold. Sometimes I forget the world could be a woman in the streets you call your mother. Sometimes I think my world is coming to an end. I miss my mom. Drugs can do a lot of things, but they can never replace her.
Yeah, that's deep.
I got another one for my
Okay.
mom too. It's called
Mhm.
Missy Now. My mom's still on drugs. I miss her so much. I don't know. I guess her first love is doing drugs. Instead of showing love to me. I love you, Mom. Unconditionally.
That's powerful. Have you talked to her at all?
No,
No?
I haven't talked to her in a couple months.
Months. That's heavy. Sorry. What do you think is the best way to try to navigate the pain?
Well, I know back then I used to think like hiding it, because these are my old poems, but
Right.
back then I used to hide it a lot. Like, and no one would think like no one would think like something was wrong, because I would hide it. That's where the no trace came in. I know like writing what I feel could get me a lot out, and showing it in art could help too.
There was a day I came in, you said, "Oh, I'm happy today. I don't want to write." And I was like, "Well, can you write about that?" Yeah, straight up. Like, I'm happy. I can't write. I'm thinking, oh man, I mean, I know it's part of it is like, I wanted to hear about you being happy. Can you get in touch with that? Like, what was going on that day? Or
Well, I used to write because I was sad,
Yeah.
you know? And now, like, that I'm happy, like, it's hard for me to write about something happy.
is it?
Yeah,
What do you think that's about?
I don't know. I'm
Some
not sure.
people say that it doesn't feel like honest to them or something because their pain is something that they really know really well, you know?
I'm happy we don't really know. Like, it's
Maybe.
new to us. Well, it's new to me.
It's
So.
new to you, yeah. Maybe it's that, or do you think it's like, do you trust it?
Yeah,
You
a
did?
little bit.
Good. Well, I would say then that could be a good writing exercise. Write about something happy, man.
Happy.
Yeah, it's you. It's great that you're happy if you feel happy. You're entitled to
Yeah.
that. You deserve that. Okay. What's so wrong?
I'm saying that's all.
You're done?
Yeah.
You don't have anything more to say?
I got more.
Well,
I got a downer. This used to be my getaway. Now it's just an empty place to me. From 14 to 18, I found myself back to the same cold place. My same old ways. 3 o'clock on the dot, phone rang. I woke up. I'm tired. I'm mad that I'm still here.
mm-hmm. So we're here in Juvenile Hall. You've been here how many times?
In total, probably 14 times.
14 times. Okay.
And all those 14 times, I do time. I've been coming in here since I was 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like more into it, like 14.
Mm-hmm.
But my first time ever like getting arrested was 13. I didn't start coming to juvenile hall since I was 14. And now that I'm going to max out, I'm 18.
Yeah, you're 18.
So I grew up in here. This used to be my second home, but now that I'm old, like I don't feel like this is my home anymore. Like
Good.
I don't think that way.
I'm
I recently graduated.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Talk about that. She's a graduate.
It took time. It took a lot of effort. Even though I wanted to quit a lot, I always kept saying to myself, because my mom's first thing was to go to school and graduate for me. And that's why I did it. I did it for my mom.
That's cool.
I'm for myself at the end of the day.
Yeah, and for yourself.
Mom.
And the teachers here were helpful?
They were helpful. You were helpful with their poetry. Kept me going.
Oh, good. That's the goal.
The staff in here, my brother, the kids in here with me,
Nice.
the youth.
Yeah, you connect the people.
They helped me.
So then you're going to have a graduation ceremony.
Yes.
That's going to
I'm
be
gonna,
really cool.
my grandma's allowed to bring me a feather. So I'm gonna have a feather.
Nice. Tradition.
It's a tradition.
That's awesome.
So I'm happy about
Gotta
that.
get a picture of that.
I know.
For real.
Okay. We'll
That's
get a
really
picture
cool.
created.
Yeah, that's really cool. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a new beginning kind of coming for
A
you?
new beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh start.
Fresh start.
Like I'm a graduate. Like this is it.
Right. So do you still think like that you would pursue some school maybe, or what are you thinking?
I wanna be an RN, registered nurse.
Great.
For right now, I'm probably gonna be a caretaker for the elders.
Elders. Uh-huh. That's cool. There's a lot of work in that field. Well, good for you. Thank you for sharing your poems.
Thank you.
I think it's valuable. Is there any words of advice you might want to say?
To keep going. Your pain has a purpose, and just, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it.
Well said. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
One thing I'd like to say in conclusion is that young woman who you just listened to, when she did have a graduation ceremony inside Juvenile Hall, and the room that they hold it in was full, so there were staff members who work at the Juvenile Justice Center standing out in the hall. And it just goes to show the concern to want to see her graduate and to want to believe in her future. It was very moving and it was really encouraging. And I know that it meant a lot to her as well. You've been listening to Teen Centric on KPPQ LP Ventura at 104.1 FM. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Craig Rosen. The music you heard on today's episode, the song behind her first poem, Santisu, was written and performed by Joe Galarza, and the music that was put under her other poems from the D-Wolf Sound Library, put together by Kenny Dredd. Teen Centric is a partnership with the Ventura County Arts Council, CAPS Radio, and the VC Probation Agency. We receive funding for this program from the California Arts Council's Jump Starts grant that provides support for arts instruction to system-engaged and at-risk youth. You can hear Teen Centric Mondays at 11:30 a.m., Thursdays at 1:30 p.m., and Fridays at 9 a.m. Thanks for tuning in.